Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2015 with the Rude Man. And we're still harvesting. So, let's check, see what we got. I think we have 2 fields left that we're working on. And he's full and needs to be emptied. And it looks like our cultivator is kind of caught up. I'm debating whether I should... Well, I guess it's okay. We'll keep him working. I was going to buy a new seeder. I think. To save some time. If I buy a new seeder, I don't really need to cultivate. Yeah, let's put this guy away. Probably already wasted fuel. Alright, we're going to give this a test. I've been hearing through the grapevine that through subscribers that if you spray at the label there long enough, this thing will get clean. So let's give it a try. See what happens. I'm waiting. Well, it sure doesn't look like it. Well, maybe. Boy, it just takes forever, doesn't it? Alright. It's working, but gee whiz. The mud just must get caked onto those things. Alright, let's get the tractor down. Come on, tires, get clean. There you go. And this thing, see, we make it look blue again. Okay. Let's go put her in the barn. We rode it hard and put it away wet. Put it in here. Whoa, he was closer than I thought he was. Bright and early, 5:46 in the morning, and I want to get the seeding started so that I've got crops growing in the daytime. I don't like harvesting at night. I surely don't. So what prices do we have here? Let's see. What is it we're harvesting? Wheat. Okay. So wheat can be sold 649 at the windmill. Alright, we know where that's at. We're actually pretty close to it from this field. So let's head that way and sell some of this wheat. I think I've got enough for that seeder right already, but I want to get a seeder and a bigger trailer. Not necessarily in that order. Uh-oh, this may be a mistake. Oh, probably was, wasn't it? Okay, windmill's over that way. I'm going to drive through this field because I can. Well, it's feeling like November around here. Supposed to get down to 29 tomorrow night, 37 tonight. Getting chilly. Boy, I just don't like this getting dark. It got dark by 4:30 this afternoon. But it's bright and sunny on the farm, so we're toasty warm. And let's see, let's just go check, see what we're looking at here. I want that big one right there. 52, I don't have enough, so we'll keep selling. We'll just keep on selling. Alright, so it looks like the combine's full. We'll go pick that wheat up first, and then we'll go to the silo. This field's bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was pretty narrow, which it is, but it's pretty long. Like a football field, isn't it? A little bit bigger than a football field, but... what would I know? I'm not a sports fan. So, I think a football field's what, 100 yards? I don't know what they have a different word for acres in this game. And I don't know if the measurement is the same. Should look it up. I started doing that in, well, I did in one trip for Euro Trucking Simulator 2, as I was driving from Norway to Sweden, and I was looking up on the internet on my other computer facts and figures. Why did I do that? I was in the habit of harvesting here, and I forgot that I was going to fill that up, not empty it. But anyway, as I was driving through Norway and Sweden, I looked up interesting facts about Norway and Sweden. Because I find myself driving through Europe in my game, and not only am I not able to pronounce the names of the cities and stuff, I don't know anything about them. Thank God the game has a GPS, or I'd be lost. Alright, let's head down to the market. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's only... Let's see if we can get there and back before he fills up. I doubt it. He's over halfway, and I'm diddle-assing around here. You got to move it, move it. It's easier going downhill than this coming up, I'll tell you that. Which is as it should be. You know, this game has some realism to it. It's obviously it's not a fantasy. I watch a YouTuber named Gopher, and he did a I don't know what you would call it. He did a video of fantasy games and reality, and it's kind of interesting. He thinks about the same way I do when it comes to games and fantasies and reality. And I'll give you an example. He plays Skyrim, and I play Skyrim. And I play it a little bit different. I like questing, and I like exploring. And, you know, the combat is part of the game. But it doesn't have to be all the game. And the way he plays is on extra hardcore on every game. He'll get a new game and automatically put it to hardcore. Well, hell, if I did that, I'd never make it through the game. I'm just not good enough. And that's not what I enjoy out of the game anyway. Like I said, I enjoy the adventure and exploring. Following the storyline, that kind of thing. Immersion. I like immersion. So, anyway, the gist of it is, he did a video where he has people saying, well, and everybody has their own opinion about it. Realism doesn't have any place in a fantasy video game. Well, I don't think that's exactly true. I mean, it can be that way if that's what you want it to be. You play the game whatever you want, whatever way you want. But I've been reading sci-fi, fantasy. I'm an avid reader. I read everything. I read mysteries. I read, you know, pretty much whatever I get my hands on. But I have a special place for fantasy and sci-fi books, because I started reading as a kid comic books, and that's what got me interested in reading. Now, I used to read whatever kind of book it is, mystery, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever book it is, I enjoy reading them because it takes me out of reality. I'd come home from a hard day's work, get myself a hot cup of tea or cocoa or whatever, kids would go to bed, and I'd sit down, easy chair, and grab a book and immerse myself in a different world, something that wasn't reality, that wasn't my job, that wasn't, you know, who I was. And so on one hand, I'm getting away from reality, and I enjoyed that. But on the other hand, think about it this way. As I look at it, there has to be some reality in any fantasy or sci-fi or anything like that, because if there's not, then you don't have any common ground. And what I mean is, if there isn't some form of real life in the story, in the book, in the video, in the movie, in the game, then it's not familiar to you. You have to have, and this is my opinion, you have to have some form of reality, real life, in the fantasy, so that you can understand it, that you feel comfortable with it. If it's completely foreign, it's like, what? What is this about? There's nothing real about it. So there has to be some reality for us to understand it and feel comfortable with it. And that's my opinion. Now, how much reality? That's a different situation. And what kind of reality? And like Gopher's video was talking about, there are games that you're doing combat in. And he made the point where, okay, you want to make your combat more realistic. It's never going to be that way, because any combat you have in any game, there's going to be an expert on weapons in real life that's going to say, yeah, that's not real. That's not 100% real. You can't. Well, take a look at the gun battles in what was that show with? Oh gosh, where he took the pill and jumped down the rabbit hole. The Matrix. You know, jumping through the air, flying through the air, shooting in 360 degrees with a gun in each hand and hitting everything that you're shooting at. That's not very realistic. And some of these movies where the gangsters are shooting a pistol and they're shooting it sideways. Well, if you do that and you've got an automatic weapon, that casing is going to shoot right in your eye, right in your face. And it's not a very accurate way of aiming. So that's not real. So there's different degrees of reality, and you can choose, in most games, you can choose how far you want to get, especially if you're playing a game with mods in it. Skyrim, again, comes to mind, as does Fallout New Vegas. You can put mods in there to change your gameplay. Skyrim in particular, there's lots and lots of immersion style mods that you can put in there and make it more realistic. You're walking through the northern ice, and you've got like characters with bikinis on, and there's no consequence for that. Well, there's a mod that you can put on the game that makes it cold, and if you don't have proper clothing on and a campfire and shelter, you're going to freeze to death. Now, that's a little bit more immersive. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. You know, the point was made, and the reason why I made the video is he's got a lot of subscribers, and a lot of them, you know, there are a lot of people out there that are fairly literal, and a lot of them are strongly opinionated, and you know, there's people that, well, to be honest with you, they're not very tolerant. It's either my way or the highway, and if you don't play the game my way, you're not playing it correctly. And Gopher's point was that, well, one of his points was that it's your game. Play it whatever you want, but don't tell me how to play my game, and don't tell, somebody else that they're playing it incorrectly just because, they want to be immersive and you don't. So there's room for all of us out there. All different kinds of gameplay. Yeah, I think probably the reason that the video hit a chord with me is like I said, I had mixed feelings. I hadn't really thought about the fact that you have a game where it's a fantasy game, and again, I would usually pick up a fantasy book so that I could leave my real life behind and just kind of vegetate out and enjoy the story in a world I knew I'd never be in. And doesn't exist. But on the other hand, if there isn't some form of reality in it, then you wouldn't understand it. It wouldn't make sense to you. Vampires are a fantasy, but they're humanoid, and they used to be alive. They used to be a person. And so you can understand that, although it's not real. And I think one example of that is, how a fantasy has to have some form of reality in it for us to absorb ourselves in it and be comfortable with it. And what comes to mind is shows like Star Trek and Star Wars. Okay, let's take Star Trek in particular. You have lots of aliens, and some of them are completely alien. You might have somebody that looks like a spider, but if you think about it, you've got Klingons, and you've got Andorians, and you've got blue people and green people, aliens, and they've got pie holders on their heads, the Klingons, and the Andorians have antennas, and look at Star Wars. They had those dancers that had like octopus tentacles on their heads, whatever that was. But notice they put them in skimpy bikinis, and they make sure that it's a very nice looking actor that's playing the part, and you look past the fact that they've got a pie plate on their head, because, oh wow, that's a pretty girl, and man, she's built like you, whatever. You can accept that alien. If you think about it, you do. You say, well, that's a good looking humanoid, even if they do have, some tentacle or something coming out of the back of their head. And they sure can dance in that bikini there, You see what I mean? By putting a lot of reality in the alien, you can feel comfortable with absorbing yourself and liking that character. Gotta watch my other screen. I'm playing Eve on my other computer. I was watching Stocklegloss, and he's been into playing Eve. Well, I've played Eve for years, and I stopped playing it a couple of years ago because, well, $14 a month. You got to cut back someplace. And I'd been playing it for so many years, and so about 2 years ago, I got back into it when I was still working, and I would kind of play, trade a little bit while I was at work. There would be a couple of slow times at work, and I'd pull my laptop out and hook it up to the internet, and I'd ship out someplace to sell something while I was working. And I wasn't actually sitting there playing the game per se. I had to be careful. I was in safe space, so I wasn't too concerned. And I didn't put my most expensive ship out there when I was AFK mining, if you will. But I was in pretty safe space. I wasn't too concerned. And I never lost a ship doing that. You know, just careful where you're at. But anyway, I was watching Stocko the other day, and I thought, you know what? I should reactivate my accounts. Because I was a minor 49er, I tell you what. If anybody plays Eve, I'm flying what do they call that? Oh shoot, my mind just went completely blank. Mackinac, flying a Mackinac minor. And so anyway, I renewed my account the other day, and I'm just sitting out in space, just mining up a storm right now. So I have to be careful. I'm watching for anything that comes into my little area of space so that I can jump if I need to. I'm pretty safe. I'm in safe space, so I'm a little distracted, just glancing over there once in a while. And the other reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to get used to it. I'm trying to get used to glancing at that other screen, because I was practicing again today at live streaming, and believe it or not, I entered. I live streamed for a couple hours testing while I drove through Europe in my Euro trucking simulator, and I didn't announce it anywhere. I just did it, and I marked it as a test stream, and I still had about 3 people that popped on. Just randomly found me. And I even had somebody was nice enough. I mean, they didn't know I needed them to do it, but the whole time I was playing, I didn't have anybody commenting, no chats. And one guy popped on and said, "Hey, what kind of equipment mods are you using?" And ooh, somebody's chatting. And so I jumped over and typed back what I was using, equipment and mods. He said, "Cool." Sat and watched for a little while and then went away. Most of the time it was just me. But, you know, at one point I had 3 people watching. So it just randomly found me. But I was trying to get used to looking. Unfortunately, I have my microphone to the left of me. And that's where my second monitor is on my gaming computer. And so I was having to look around the microphone every once in a while to see if there was any chat. And it wasn't very easy. And thank God there wasn't any, because I'd have missed it. But so I'm thinking what I'm going to do if I do another streaming video or streaming session is I think I can log on to my account through 2 computers. I don't think it matters. In some things, when you log on to one computer, it logs you off of the other one. I don't think that happens with Twitch. So I think I can log on to the other computer and just watch the chat while I'm playing on the gaming computer. Alright, I do have enough for a new seeder, so I think I'm going to buy one. So let's go back here and get this thing. Oh, I hope they fixed that. Did you see what just happened? Now, fortunately, I wanted to buy that. But they've got it set up so if you had the money and you accidentally hit the button, it buys it. There's one click buy. I would like it so that if you click it, it says, okay, are you sure you want to spend $5,200,000 on this rig, and you hit it again. The one click thing's kind of dangerous. And I was looking through forums, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, they just have bought so much equipment they didn't really want to buy because they were looking at a piece of equipment and accidentally hit the button and it bought it. So you kind of, if you're looking at equipment, be careful. You may buy something you don't really want. So we now have a seeder. Let's see. That guy's full again. Where's my tractor? Oh, I put him away, didn't I? Alright, we need to get this guy out. Unfortunately, I've got that other seeder chuck full of seed, but eventually we'll use it because we're going to use it for beets and potatoes. Alright, so we need to bring that piece of equipment. Oops, wrong one. Let's bring that piece of equipment to the farm. We've had it delivered. Cost me, I don't know, some euros, I guess. Where does it deliver it to? Right there. How convenient is that? Alright, let's go fill this thing up. Now we still need to spray, because this one does seeding, but it doesn't do fertilizer, which is okay. They'll make a mod. Somebody will make a mod. And I heard again through one of my subscribers that... Alright, what's going on? Oh, I'm trying to get fertilizer in a seeder. Duh! I heard through the grapevine from one of my subscribers that they found the mixing station mod and that it works pretty good. And they found a utility vehicle mod. I have the address for that. I haven't downloaded it yet. And I'm not quite ready for the mixing station anyway. But they're starting to get some mods out there. I'm waiting for the one that categorizes my equipment. That one was handy. Right, since we're selling wheat, maybe we'll plant some more wheat. And again, the reason I wanted this one is because I don't have to cultivate with this one. You know that map that I did a showcase on? Short little showcase, it wasn't real serious. That all it did was pretty much change the farm. It took that great big hill right in front of me out completely and flattened it out and put a field up there. Let's get this guy started. Well, he must have, when he did the work up here, I don't know what happened, and there may be the fields are different sizes. I'm not entirely sure, because from memory I couldn't remember, but it looked like what he did was he filled this area in, kind of, sort of, or something. Oh, I got logs out here. I need to buy one of them loggy things. Out here in the middle of these fields were several trees, and the funny part was that they were down in the ground. Like the original trunk, and I'm talking about the part right here in a tree where it meets the ground. Okay, well somehow when he put these trees in, the part that normally meets the ground was like 2 feet underground, and these trees were just coming out of right in the middle of the field. So I had to take my trusty chainsaw and kind of cut them down, and in the game that I'm playing of that map. So far, I haven't had any trouble with it. I was a little worried about it being a little game hog, but it's not. Power hog. But it's not. It's running pretty good. As a matter of fact, I've been a little bit impressed by it when you really think about it. Basically, the only thing he really changed was the farm. He did change a few fields around, but I'm totally impressed with the amount of stuff that he did to that farm in such a small area where there really wasn't anything to begin with. He took a lot of unused space and put a lot of content in it. Pretty impressive. Alright, let's get this guy back up to the field, because I think that combine is ready. and waiting for me. Feed me, empty me. So, my little talk tonight was geared towards those people that have trouble sleeping because it's late here, past my bedtime. And I noticed in the first part of the video I was just playing and wasn't saying anything, and all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, I've got my microphone on. I better start talking. And so anyway, I went on about that fantasy thing, but I did it on purpose because I knew you guys were sitting up and couldn't go to sleep, and I figured, well, listen to me for 5 minutes, you'll be passed out and ready to go for the next morning. And tomorrow's a holiday, isn't it? Hopefully you guys don't have to work on holiday. In the States, Veterans Day, isn't it? Okay, so what do we need to do next? I wanted to buy a bigger trailer, and I'm thinking, do I need to keep the little trailer? I hate to sell anything, really, because eventually I'll need a little trailer, I think, and you only get half price when you sell them. So if you end up having to buy it back, you've actually kind of lost. Now here's what I was talking about. If you already have fruit in the trailer, you don't have to select it again. You just have to hit the button and it automatically fills with whatever it is you have in there. Cool, huh? Now let's go back to the thing here and look at tippers. Now the thing is, I think this one will still work with the combine I am using. This one and this one will not. They're too tall. You'll need the bigger combine to use those, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the one I'm going to buy, and it's not too expensive. So let's just sell a little more wheat, and we'll buy a bigger trailer. Make less trips, use less fuel, which, by the way, it looks like I need to fuel up. I've got a little less than half a tank here. Oh, I'm getting used to this little trek. Kinda, sorta. I wonder why they don't have any. The pickups in this game. Do they not have four-wheel drive pickups in Europe? You know, where I live in Oregon, everybody's got a pickup and everybody's got a four-wheel drive. And it's really kind of funny too, because I know people that have four-wheel drive. They've had it for years and never ever have put it in four-wheel drive. You just got to have a truck if you live in Oregon. Just gotta have one. Let's see. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Oh, no. It's a holiday, isn't it? I wonder if it's recognized by... I'm supposed to have a package delivered tomorrow. I wonder if UPS or FedEx... I'm pretty sure the post office is closed. But I don't know if FedEx or UPS recognize Veterans Day as a holiday. Because it seemed like Amazon said I was supposed to get my package tomorrow. We'll see. They have to deliver it if it's mine, don't they? I think they do. I think. Alright, see if I can get another trip in before I end the episode. Got a couple minutes left. I think I'm about done mining too. I'm gonna grab my Kindle, fire it up. I'm reading a book on my Kindle every night before I go to bed. I just kind of relax, flip up the pillow, turn the old Kindle on. Amazon has a new thing now. If you're Amazon Prime, you get free shipping and stuff, and you can. I spend a lot of money on Amazon, probably too much. But Amazon Prime, you get a thing that's like Netflix, where you can watch TV and movies and stuff as part of your membership. And then they added music, so you can now download, or not. You don't really download it, you stream it, and you can make playlists, and they have pre-made playlists. So they have like classical music for cleaning house, or that kind of stuff. Oldies for dancing to. Just they put these playlists together, or you can put your own playlist together. But that's kind of cool, and it's part of Amazon Prime now. And then recently, they added in the last week or so that you can put all your family pictures up on their cloud for free. And so if you have, smartphone or Kindle or TV or Sony PlayStation or whatever you can get Amazon on, you can see your family pictures anytime you want. So if you're traveling around, you don't want to haul all the albums around, and you go to Aunt Susie's house, you can just fire up your Kindle or whatever you've got and have some family pictures passed around. And with that, I'm going to call it an episode. I'm about ready to pass out, so pretty tired. Probably tell it in my voice. But happy farming, and I will see you in the next episode. And I'll try to drink lots of tea so I can wake up a little bit. And if I put anybody to sleep tonight, thank me. All right. Have a good evening.